Hello and welcome to Conan Exiles, the Age of Heroes. A brand new age in Conan Exiles, and this is chapter 1. So in this video we're going to take a brief look at most of the new features that are now available in game, and then at a later date we'll take a look at each individual one in a bit more detail. So this is just a quick dive into what's new in Age of Heroes chapter 1. So what exactly is new in Conan Exiles in the Age of Heroes? Well, the first big main feature of the update is titled as Living Settlements, which means that this replies to your crafter workers, or thralls as they're called in the game. So this applies to carpenters, blacksmiths, armourers, tanners, even your priests and people from your different altars. It includes all of those, so not your entertainers, your archers or your fighters, they are all still the same as usual. But the main living settlements feature, one of the cool new situations that you'll find with it is when you get yourself one of your crafters, before you had to have them in your inventory, and then you would interact with the bench that you wanted to put them on, and then there would be a space at the top that you had to, where it said thrall, and you had to put them into there, and they would stay there in that bench then. And then when you wanted them on another bench, you had to remove them and then put them in the new bench. Now, as you can see here on this bench, on the top right there in that middle menu, how it shows that I have two different blacksmiths available. That's because this one is working at this bench at the moment, but we also have this other blacksmith as well. And again, if we interact with this bench, as you can see, we've got lots of options available there, because that's also showing us we've got an armourer available for this bench as well. So with this new feature, you take a crafter once you've tamed them, and rather than slotting them into the bench, you put them in your hot wheel, and then you place them on the ground just as you would a fighter, an archer or an entertainer, and they will then wait a few seconds and then they'll walk off and go to one of the relevant benches. As you can see, these two working away here at the moment, and then periodically they will stop what they're doing and one of them will go off and do something else. As you can see, nothing on this regular bench again, but as you can see there, we've still got two blacksmiths available. They will stop, and you'll find we've tested this on stream as well, so if you missed my stream on launch day Thursday, which is the day before this video, I'll leave a link card for it at the end of this video. Go back and check that one out. You'll notice one of them come out and then stand here admiring this armor statue here. Now again, if you've got these placed down, if you don't want them to interact with it, all you need to do is hold your interact button and then you can disable it there, so that will stop crafters coming up and admiring this particular thing. And this also applies to furniture, so any stools, chairs, benches, anything like that you've got. If you don't want friends, as we call them, using them, apart from your fighters or archers or dancers that you place in them, you can disable it or enable it in the option there. If we take a look downstairs, again here we have our friendship table, as we like to call it. But again, there you can see it's showing us we've got a taskmaster available. However, she's not on the bench. That's because she's over here at the wheel. But again, if we interact with the wheel, shows that she's available there as well. So now you don't have to have the particular crafter in the bench. Just so long as we're within range of it, it will count for you as well. And another example is our set priest here. As you can see again there, that's showing them available, but they are also stood at the shrine at the moment as well, but they will wander around. And this applies to all of your crafters, as I say, no matter what they are, and so long as you also have somewhere for them to sit, then they can fulfill their needs, which is something that they will do automatically, as you can see here. Now they won't eat any food that is yours from your fridges, it's just purely an animation that they do, but they'll sit like this and eat, and then eventually they'll go off depending on where their station is, and they'll go back to work again. And if you set up beds for them, you can have the door closed, it doesn't have to be open because people can open the doors. And as you'll see, we've got some beds laid out here. Your various crafters, whoever they are, will come up and take a sleep, so they'll rest for a period of time, and then they'll then get up and wander back downstairs and go back to their various work tables. And it also applies to your cook as well and people like that. There's now new animations for your cooks, for the stove and for the different fireplaces if you have those. We will go into more detail in this in a future video where we'll actually take a proper dive into the new living settlements and show it off properly, just so you get a fuller idea of what happens. But as you can see, she's now finished eating, so she's off upstairs now and probably going for a sleep. And if you listen in just a second, didn't hear it that time, but they can actually open the door and go in there. And then if you've got an area again that is your own private area and you don't want followers using it, again all you have to do is interact with the furniture. Now I had this disabled, but she's come up here, but that's a good example. So again, I need to click that, so that will stop them using it. So because this is enabled, she's decided she wants to come up and sit next to the fire for a bit, so that's something you can do. The same with fireplaces, if you disable this, that'll stop them using that as well. But as I say, we will take a deep dive into the new living settlements in a future video, so subscribe for that one if you haven't already and stay tuned. So that is the main feature of the new update, the new living settlements. Another new feature that has been added in this update is, as you can see behind me here, the cage with people in them. Now these can vary of what you can get from the cages. Again, we'll do another video on this where we'll go around and open a few different ones and see who we can get, but these are located at different locations around the map. We're just currently down here at this location at this Defari camp, and these are the cages. Like if you played the Isle of Sipta DLC, you'll know about these, how you need a jailer's key to open them. And the jailers, depending on what area you are in, is this person here. So as you can see, they are called a jailer. And down here now, because we are in the Defari faction, they're actually dressed in the Defari skin, armour or clothing if you want to call it that. But the model is typically based off the Cannibal Brute, which is like a tier 4 fighter of the Defari faction. So you will kill that jailer, they'll give you a key, and then you'll be able to rescue the person from the cage. And again, there are various ones around the map. There's this one here, you've got one up that we've found so far, you've also got one up north, all the way up in the northwest at Mounds of the Dead, which again we'll look at in a later video, right on the little mound where the Taskmaster used to be and where Delincia can spawn. There are lots of others that we'll discover as well, but you've also got one in the den at the back where the priests all spawn. But again, this will be another video coming up very, very shortly, so keep an eye out for that one where we'll go around a bit more and show off a few more of them, just so that you know what to expect. But that's a brief look at the new cages and jailers that are now also available in the Exile lands. If you do enjoy my content and you find it helpful and interesting, then why not consider becoming a subscriber? Totally free for you to do, and it helps me out a lot, helps me grow my channel, which I'm looking to do to make it into a business for the future, hopefully providing useful and interesting content for you guys, because the more you guys watch, the more I'm going to make. And also you're helping me out doing what I enjoy doing, so why not consider it? Totally free for you, helps me out a lot. And while you're down there, why not leave a comment and leave a like for the YouTube algorithm so it helps push this video out to more and more people. And also don't forget, turn on your notifications so that you get to know all information and uploads from this channel, because I do post things in the community tab as well. Also to let you know when we have live streams, which are on a Friday evening 7 PM to 9 PM UK time. Possibly may change in the future, but that's what we do at this current time. As I say, all totally free for you to do, but shows your support for the channel, because the more support we get, the more enjoyment I see you guys getting, the more enjoyment I get out of making the videos and bringing you the content. So if I can help you and you can help me, then we're definitely on to a winner. And another feature that was added is another slightly longer thing that it will take you to do once again, but now we've also got a new companion system in game, and the two obtainable companions are Freya, which, if many of you remember Freya's hovel, which is where we are right now, just up here on the map. She has now gone. As you can see, she's no longer stood at the side where she used to be. The people that were here are both dead and things are on fire. And you now also have Freya, who is here. This is not the original Freya that you could tame as a follower previously. She's now got a storyline that you can follow, and you can speak to her and help her out and do some various tasks and things with her to gain her as a new companion. There are a few videos out there about the companion system that people have done. If you want to check that out, we'll hopefully get around to this at some point, but there are a few out there if you're interested. And there is another one that is a male companion related to sorcery, and this is over in the jungle area. I believe he's round about where Dagon's embrace is, in this area. You can go and visit him, and also he's got some dialogue, but there's a lot more involved with that one, because you'll need certain items on you as well when you first go to see him, because one of the key things that he'll get you to do early on is to go and learn sorcery. So if you haven't already learned sorcery, you're going to have to come all the way back over here to Shaleback Hollow and then go into the cave, learn your sorcery, and then go back to him again. But again, there are videos out there at the moment on that one that people were able to do because of early access on PC. But here's another companion that you can now obtain. And as I say, Freya is this companion here, still up at Freya's hovel, but not the Freya that you could get as a tameable archer before. That has now changed, and if you have access to admin or you're playing single player, even if you search for Freya and then you place her down, you won't actually find the old Freya that was the archer. She'll now appear as a fighter with a different name. I think it's Helga, I think she's now called. So she's not even available as a spawnable NPC anymore. But again, this is something that we'll have to dive into in the future. So one final thing just to go through again on the living settlement side of things. As you can see, the animations that your crafters now do is obviously different to what they previously did, where they would just be kneeling in front of the cauldron. Be it alchemist, for example, they actually do a proper animation now, which is really cool. But as you can probably tell as well, our alchemist is actually wearing different clothes and not the coarse rags that they usually appear in. And that is because they're now a person that you can place in the world. They again come with all the commands like a fighter, an archer, and entertainer does, and inventory space, so you can give them a weapon if you like. They have the varied leveling up chances and stats also. So if you want to level them up to a level 20, you can do. Don't know what they're like yet as a person to tame, or how they would be as a fighter, but they have all the similar stats to a regular fighter and stat chances. But also, as I say, with the clothing side to it, as you can see on the right there, you can take off their coarse clothing and either put them in a basic outfit or a full set of armour if you're going to take them out as a combatant, or if you play PvP and you want your crafters to have some armour and a chance to survive and a weapon, you'd be able to kit them up in some really good strong armour. But then you could also transmog it with the thaumaturgy bench to illusion it into a proper clothing set. So rather than having them, I don't know why she's looking like she's ready for battle, but there we go. bit of a glitch that goes on at the minute. So instead of the coarse clothing like that, like they come with, you can have them dressed up in a nice fancy outfit and have your base starting to look a little bit more lifelike and interesting, which is really, really good. So now your crafters aren't just stuck behind their stations, they actually wander around and do things and make your base look a bit more alive. Then just before we leave today, one little fun fact to share with you. Now these are not companions that were obtained through the new quest line. I've literally just spawned these in for the benefits of displaying this, but one of the questions I got in the stream last night was, can you have Freya and Lufey, I believe his name is, in War Party? Can you have them together, or will it only allow you to have just Freya or just Lufey? But the answer is, if you're running War Party, and there's no admin trick or anything, but as you can see, quite happily you can have both Freya and Lufey. If I show you my stats there, just so that you can see, so you can see I'm not using any tricks. War Party. So the answer to that question, can't remember who it was that asked, but if you see this video, there's your answer to your question. That absolutely, if you want Lufey and Freya together in a War Party, absolutely it can be done. Don't know what they're going to be like fighting together when they're fully obtained through the quest. Obviously these guys fight normal, just as if they're regular followers. As you can see, don't know how they would level just being the way they are, but just for demonstration purposes you can quite happily have both Lufey and Freya as companions in War Party. So let us know once you've got both of these what you think, which one you prefer, or are you running them both as War Party now that you know you can, and let us know just how effective they are. Be interesting to see what people think. So that is hopefully an answer to a question of, can you have both Freya and Lufey in War Party? So there we go, that's all for today. I hope you found this one interesting, hope you found it helpful. If you did at all, do me a favour, leave a comment down below, leave a like, why not consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.